guys, and welcome back to Claire's Clues. On today's video, we'll be talking about the book The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. See, this book is all about financial success, gain, and how to get there. In the book, he gives an example like this. Say you earn 10 coins. First, put away one for yourself, then spend the 9 that are left over. What he means by this is, when you earn your money, when you get your paycheck, put away 10% for yourself first. Always pay yourself first. Because what you'll find if you don't is that you'll be left with paying bills and expenses, and then you'll go shopping or you'll buy things that you might not necessarily need, and you'll be left with no savings. But instead, if you follow this rule of taking that one coin, that 10% out of every pay that you earn, you will find the compound effect will take place. And you'll find that once this happens, over a period of time, no matter how long it might be or how short, it will start to add up. It will start to take effect. And you'll find that one day when you open your bank account, there'll be quite a bit of money sitting there. And all because you put away that extra 10% every single pay. And believe me, after a while, you won't miss it. You won't even know you had it in the first place. Therefore, what you don't know you have, you don't miss. And by doing so, what you do is provide yourself a comfortable little fallback. If anything is to go wrong, or anything pops up in life, as life does, things happen here and there that we aren't able to control. So what we do by doing this extra 10%, by putting away this little amount of money each pay, is we provide ourselves with something to fall back on, just in case something in life does happen. No matter what it is, no matter the situation, or maybe it's just something as simple as you want to take a holiday. Maybe you've been working too hard for too long and you want to be able to say, hey, I need some time off, and work isn't going to pay you. So what you're able to do is able to live off that money that you've been able to save. Now that's a really good thing for a lot of people. People that aren't in a position to put away a lot of money all the time. See, it matters what you do over little steps, over little periods of time. Everything you do every day compounds, and you end up with a large, great result. So by doing this 10%, you end up with something to support yourself, your family, whatever it might be. You won't find yourself in a situation where you're struggling to make ends meet. So moving on, guys, always pay yourself first. Always. Every month, every paycheck, whenever you get paid, no matter how little or how big, always make sure you're putting away 10%. Because even that small amount will make such a large difference at the end of the day. Now, money is a commodity that generates profit. So no matter how much or how little you have, it will always generate profit. Think of it like this. When you have enough money sitting in a savings account, the bank will start to pay interest. And therefore, they will start to pay you back for the money that you have sitting in your savings account. This way, money is generating profit for you. Make money work in your favour. Because it can, so long as you take the right steps. So again, the compounding effect will come into action on this one. So the more you put away into your savings account, the more you'll end up finding that the bank will give you back. They'll start to pay a higher interest on whatever it is you've got in there. So always 10% save and invest. No matter how much you do, you will find that at the end of all of this, you'll be better off. So saving is a habit. Get in the habit of putting away that 10%. Because I know it might seem like a lot if you have a little, but over a long period of time, you'll find A, you don't miss it, B, you'll be thankful, and C, you'll always have your own support. So you'll always have something to make sure that you're not in a bad situation at the wrong time. Control your expenses. So when you're looking at the money that you've got left over, think about what it is that you really need. Think about the things that you would do without and could definitely get by without for the next year or so. And think about the things that would make a big difference now. So buying a new phone now is not going to make a big difference to your life. You don't need that new phone, it's a want. This is where we need to differentiate between needs and wants in life. Because although we might want a lot of things and we will justify it as a need, we don't necessarily need those things to get by. You don't need a new phone to get through your everyday life. Although you do need food, a roof over your head, you need to be able to pay your bills on time. These are the things that you will need. Therefore, you're going to need the money to be able to do such things. But if we've gone out and we've spent the money on things like little ornaments and birthday gifts that are overpriced and, maybe we treat ourselves to a lot of takeaway. These are things that we don't need necessarily. Maybe it's nice to go out once in a while, maybe every second weekend with a friend or some family, but we don't need to do this all the time. We don't need to live up to someone else's lifestyle. You need to live up to a lifestyle that would suit you. And going out every weekend might not necessarily be just that. So by putting this off and by avoiding going out all the time, spending that money that we don't necessarily need to spend, you will find that at the end of all of it, you will be better off. And you can go out every weekend. You can go out every day of the week if you wanted to. Any day that ends in Y is up to you what you do with it. But until then, until you have enough money sitting there, after you've put away your 10% every pay, maybe you say you give yourself 6 months, 12 months, whatever it might be. At the end of it, you're going to have a nice little cash cow sitting on the side for you to do the things that you really want. And if you're smart enough, you'll start to look at that little cash cow, the money that you've put aside, as something that you can start investing. Maybe you start buying little stocks here and there. Now, the littlest stock you can buy is about $500. So although it might seem like a lot now, in a few months, you'll be able to do that. And then you'll find that the compounding effect will take place on that as well. And you will start earning income passively. You won't have to worry about going to your 9-to-5 job and working so hard to get such a little result in return, such a little amount of money back. But we can invest. And investment is what saves us a lot of time and energy. So if we do this wisely and in the right categories, we can find that soon enough, doing enough of it, we won't have to work our 9-to-5 job ever again. That's just a fantastic thing. Imagine if you didn't have to get up at some ridiculous hour in the morning anymore and you could just lay there and relax, take the morning in, casually get out of bed, and then decide what it is you're going to do for your day. Imagine being able to do such things and then work backwards. What would it take to get there? So again, that little 10%, although it might seem big in the first place, in the long run, it's going to benefit you greatly. Now moving on, keep learning. We need to keep learning, no matter what it is. Maybe we need to learn about stocks, investment, saving that 10% and where to put it, what bank to put it with. All kinds of things. We can learn everything. We can learn anything, whatever it might be. There is always something new to learn, and we can test it, do experiments on it, and then grow and learn from that. Because we can always do better. Excuse me a second, guys. Sorry. Anyway, like I was saying, we can always keep growing. We can always learn. We might fail and it's bound to happen, but don't see that as a roadblock. Don't see that as a time to give up. See that as a time to learn and know that you failed and know that that's one way not to do it. There are 1,000 other ways that you can now do that same thing and get a better result. Also, guard your money. Guard it from fatal losses. So make sure that you're not investing your money in places like the wrong stocks or, a bad real estate investment or things like that. Because these things can lose you a lot of money. Now, for all the time and energy that you've put in to put away that 10% every pay, you don't want to have to go then throw it away. You may as well pull it out the bank and just set it on fire, because that's what you'd be doing. You would be losing that money, that time, that effort, the energy you put in your 9-to-5 job, trying to earn back the money and the time you put in. So don't do this. Do not invest your money in the wrong places, because you need to do a lot of learning. You need to do a lot of investigating. Make sure you're doing the right thing with your money. Make sure it's going in a place that you know is safe, secure, and will make you a good investment. Also, set up a passive income. So like I just spoke about, make sure you've got somewhere where even if you are still working your 9-to-5 job, you might have something on the side, like a few stocks or a little bit of real estate that you know is worthwhile, or, you know, maybe you've got a business on the side. Whatever it might be, make sure it's earning you some form of income where you're not putting in all your time and energy, all your effort. That way, you won't have to be working for the rest of your life. Because it's around 60 to 70 years age that we now have to work till to be able to retire. So in able to avoid this, make sure you're starting to put away that 10% now. Alright guys, that's all for now. But to quickly summarise, the Richest Man in Babylon is about putting away that 10%. Start now, because there's no better time than now. And also, make sure you're investing. Invest in the right things. And make sure you're looking after the things like your expenses, and also make sure you're setting up a passive income. These things will all help you in the long run. Alright, now that'll be all we're making for now. We'll be making a lot more of these videos for you in this training series for your personal development goals. But that's all for now, guys. Until next time, leave a comment below on what you liked the most, and I look forward to seeing you next time in Claire's Clues.